You stand in the morning rush, shoes tapping on hot pavement. Buses hiss, phones vibrate, neon ads scream for attention. Your pulse matches the traffic lights, red, green, red again. Without noticing, your jaw locks, your shoulders climb to your ears. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is already in your blood before you sip the first coffee. This is the quiet epidemic of our time, a nervous system stuck in overdrive. We are not chased by lions, yet our bodies act as if the hunt never ended. Notifications replace predators, deadlines replace storms. The result is constant alert. Blood pressure edges upward. Sleep fractures into restless fragments. Muscles carry tension like invisible armor. And here comes the twist. Biology is not broken, just misplaced. Your system is doing exactly what it evolved to do, except in the wrong habitat. In concrete landscapes, every signal says danger might be near, and the watchdog in your brain barks all night. Now, picture another morning. Mist hangs low under tall beaches. You breathe in air that smells of resin and damp earth. The first exhale feels longer, almost surprising. Shoulders sink a little. The city did not change, but you did. Science can track this moment. Within just 20 minutes outdoors, cortisol levels drop by around 20% beyond natural decline. Blood pressure falls by 3 to 6 millimeters of mercury. Heart rate slows. The body leaves fight or flight and touches rest and digest. Japanese researchers call it Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing, and they have measured it for decades. Across dozens of sites and hundreds of people, the same refrain. Forests steady the pulse, strengthen vagal tone, and put the nervous system back on standby. The prescription is humble. Not days of retreat, not mystical rituals, just 20 to 30 minutes, 3 times a week. 2 hours per week total, the green threshold, and you already see sharper differences in mood, immunity, and cardiovascular health. This is not luxury. This is the cheapest therapy you can imagine, available in a park bench, a patch of trees, even a balcony garden. You don't need to conquer nature. You just need to let it recalibrate you. Why does it work? Because the senses read safety. Light through leaves signals day rhythm to your brain. Birdsong tells ancient circuits, predators are gone. The fractal geometry of branches matches the statistics your visual cortex processes most easily, lowering cognitive load. Even the air plays a role. Trees release volatile oils, phytocides, that, once inhaled, nudge the immune system into alert calm. All of this happens while you do nothing. 20-minute nature equals measurable cortisol drop. 120 minutes per week equals protective effect for mental health. No effort, no equipment, no price tag. Stress is not destiny. It is a habitat problem. Change the signals and the system rewires. Why we start here? This block throws the audience straight into a scene they know, urban stress, and gives them the first taste of relief. We pair everyday imagery with hard data, humor at our own expense, and a clear, simple promise. Nature is the reset button you didn't know you had. The brain remembers silence. Close your eyes for a second. In the city, silence never comes. Even in the middle of the night, there's the hum of traffic, the buzz of neon, the digital ping of late-night emails. Your brain's watchdog, the amygdala, keeps barking. It cannot tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and a honking car. The result is constant vigilance. But give that brain trees instead of traffic. One 2022 experiment did exactly this. Volunteers walked for an hour in a forest, another group in a busy urban street. After the forest walk, scans showed reduced activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear center. Faces that looked threatening no longer triggered the same alarm. The urban walkers, no change. A second study sent people on a 90-minute nature walk. The results were almost poetic. Reduced activity in the subgenual prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain linked to rumination. In simple words, the forest turned down the replay button. Less chewing of worries, less circling thoughts. The mind looked outward again. Psychologists call this attention restoration theory. Cities demand hard focus. Stop here, cross now, answer immediately. The brain burns fuel like a laptop with too many tabs open. Nature offers soft fascination. The rustle of leaves, a drifting cloud, birds calling across branches. These hold attention without draining it. Executive networks idle. Resources refill. Your mind, for once, exhales. It's not theory only. In schools, children surrounded by greenery show better concentration and fewer ADHD symptoms. Teachers notice calmer classrooms after recess in natural yards. In offices, workers who take green breaks solve problems more creatively and report less stress. In hospitals, even patients staring at trees through glass recover faster, need less pain medication, and leave earlier. Why? Because safety signals reach us through every sense. The visual cortex processes fractal patterns of leaves more efficiently than the straight lines of concrete. Natural soundscapes full of birdsong signal predator absence, lowering unconscious tension. Forest air carries plant chemicals, phytocides, that travel from nose to limbic system and nudge the nervous system toward calm. Touch adds another layer. Bark under the hand, moss underfoot, cool shade on the skin. Each cue tells the brain, you're safe enough to rest. And safety is not just comfort, it's the key that unlocks growth. A brain that is no longer on guard can learn, remember, empathize, create. Cities train vigilance. Forests retrain openness. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Walk under trees often enough, and the habit of calm becomes permanent. Your brain is not broken. It is simply overtrained in stress. Let the forest reteach it. Silence. 60 minutes in forest, quieter amygdala. 90 minutes in forest, reduced rumination circuits. Children, patients, workers, better focus, faster recovery, more creativity. Mechanism, multisensory safety cues. Why this block matters. Block 2 moves the story upward from the body's stress to the brain's circuits. The data feels almost like magic, but we keep it grounded with everyday examples. The viewer now knows a walk is not distraction, it is rewiring. And it sets the stage for Block 3, where we translate this calm into resilience, creativity, and meaning. Mood, meaning, and the roots of resilience. A calmer body, a quieter brain. But science alone doesn't capture the lived truth. How does nature actually change a life? This is where numbers meet feelings, where data turns into resilience. Take mood. Across continents, from Tokyo to Toronto, people who live near trees report fewer symptoms of anxiety and depression. This isn't a soft correlation. In Denmark, a cohort of 1 million children was tracked for decades. Those who grew up with daily access to greenery carried a 55% lower risk of developing psychiatric disorders later in life. Imagine a childhood oak outside your bedroom window acting as long-term medicine. Hospitals reveal the same. In the 1980s, researchers compared post-surgery patients. Some looked at brick walls, others at trees. The result, the tree view patients healed faster, needed fewer painkillers, and went home earlier. Nurses described them as easier to care for. Today, this principle has a name: biophilic design. Hospitals, offices, even airports integrate gardens not as decoration, but as therapy built into architecture. And in nursing homes, gardens change everything. Residents who can walk among plants show less agitation, lower use of sedatives, and more spontaneous conversation. A bench under a birch becomes a social catalyst. Loneliness softens. Family visits in a garden feel warmer than visits in a fluorescent hall. Nature doesn't just heal individuals, it restores bonds. Children echo this resilience through play. In green schoolyards, conflict fades because leaves, beetles, and puddles become shared focus. Teachers report calmer classrooms, longer attention spans, and fewer discipline issues. What looks like play is actually neuroregulation disguised as joy. The brain rehearses patience and collaboration by following the flight of a butterfly. Adults, too, find creativity sprouting. In controlled studies, participants who took a nature walk generated more flexible and original solutions to problems. Writers break through block. Engineers rethink stubborn puzzles. The walk doesn't erase the problem, it rearranges the mental furniture. Stress narrows, nature widens. Meaning emerges here as well. Stand under a centuries-old oak and your deadlines feel smaller. Problems shrink not because they vanish, but because perspective expands. Surveys capture this with phrases like, "I feel held," "I belong," "I am less alone." Spiritual words maybe, but they map directly to physiology. Lower cortisol, steadier heart rate, improved immune markers. Meaning is not separate from biology. It is biology, interpreted as story. Resilience is the product. A nervous system soothed by nature absorbs daily shocks more easily. The rude email stings less. The traffic jam doesn't ruin the evening. A family walk in a park ends with laughter instead of quarrels. A colleague chat in a green courtyard becomes collaboration instead of competition. Nature does not delete stress, but it widens the container that can hold it. Resilience is not willpower. It is roots grown in soil that calms the storm. 55% lower psychiatric risk for children raised near green. Hospitals, tree views equal faster healing, fewer painkillers. Nursing homes, gardens reduce loneliness. Schools, nature play equals calmer kids, fewer conflicts. Adults, creativity and perspective blossom outdoors. Block 3 brings the science home to daily life. It connects biology with meaning, resilience, and relationships. It proves that nature is not luxury, but infrastructure for mental health. Now we prepare for Block 4, the cultural irony of tree hugging, the mocked gesture that may be the most honest of all. The hug everyone laughed at. Say the phrase "tree hugger" and watch the smirks appear. It's shorthand for naivete, eco-extremism, or new age kitsch. In cartoons, it's a person in sandals, eyes closed, arms around bark while the world rolls its eyes. What if the joke hides a cure? Studies show that people who physically touch trees while breathing slowly experience greater drops in blood pressure and heart rate than those who only look at them. Touch matters. Skin has direct lines to the nervous system. Bark under your palms, trunk against your chest, exhalation deepening with each squeeze. All of it amplifies parasympathetic calm. The watchdog brain gets the signal. Safe. History knew it first. In 1970s India, the Chipko movement stopped logging by literally hugging trees. Women wrapped their bodies around trunks as shields. Hugging meant survival. Indigenous cultures long before spoke of trees as kin, teachers, even ancestors. Now modern neuroscience offers a translation. Tactile grounding anchors interoception, the sense of being at home in your own body. Even during the pandemic, hugging trees made headlines. In Iceland, forest officials suggested it as a stand-in for human hugs during social distancing. Thousands tried. Many described feeling less lonely, more comforted. Critics mocked, but participants reported something that numbers can't dismiss. A shift in breath, a softening in the chest, a spark of connection. Yes, the wellness industry sometimes sells forest rituals as luxury retreats with a designer price tag. And yes, skeptics scoff at placebo. But here's the irony. Placebo doesn't increase natural killer cells. Marketing slogans don't measurably lower cortisol. Evidence is stubborn. You don't have to believe in magic. Only notice your own pulse after you lean on a trunk. So laugh if you want. Humor belongs here, but then test it yourself. Step to a tree, close your eyes. Let your hands rest on rough bark. Breathe out slower than you breathe in. See what your body says. If your shoulders drop, your jaw softens, your heartbeat steadies, you'll know the joke was on the mockers. A hug is not superstition. It is the oldest medicine of all. Touch as a reminder that you are alive, safe, and connected. Tree hugging equals lower heart rate, calmer breath. Chipko movement equals survival through embrace. Cultures worldwide equal trees as kin. Pandemic equals trees as surrogate hugs. Critics scoff. Evidence holds. Nature is not a backdrop. It is signal, system, medicine. Sight, scent, sound, and touch are not luxuries. They are switches. They move us from alarm to calm, from fear to resilience. And the hug is not a punchline. It is a ritual of return. One hand on bark, one breath longer than the last, and your body remembers what labs now confirm. You are wired to heal when surrounded by green. So here is your challenge. Today, take 5 minutes. No apps, no headphones, no timer. Just you and the nearest tree, balcony plant, or patch of grass. Breathe, touch, notice. Start small, but start. Stay curious, stay kind to your nervous system, and stay with us, because part 2 will take this further, from forest prescriptions in hospitals to the battle over placebo and profit. The deeper story of nature's medicine is just beginning.